So, so minor hockey, obviously. I grew up in Tracy, which is next to Sorel. Some people would have heard that town because of the North American Hockey League. Anyways, as a player myself, I was fast, but I wasn't skill-wise. I was okay. So once in a while, I would get kids to say a couple of racial things, call me like a monkey and stuff like that, and those kind of comments, and I just kept going. I didn't let it affect me because one of the things that my father told me is when growing up is that if anybody ever says to you, don't say anything, just let me know and I will deal with it. And he did it. He did it one time with me and my sister and my sister's friend. So at that sense, I'm like, you know what? If that happens on the ice, I may not tell my dad because I don't want to see anything and him lose his mind on people. But I saw it more when I went to see my brother play. So um, as a kid, like I was probably the worst thing I saw was probably when I was 14. He was playing for Saint-Hyacinthe Lasers that he moved to Rouyn-Noranda. And we were in the home rink, and this older gentleman was in the stand just screaming the N word at him while I was probably a section over. So I get mad. I was like, you know what, that's enough. I walked over to him and I said, look, can you stop? And he looked at me like he was offended. Like, what? What? I said, can you stop saying that? Like, what? None of your business. Like, it is my business. It's my brother. Stop saying that. He's like, well, leave me alone. I'm like, you stop yelling those things. He stopped, but he was still yelling stuff at him, but at least didn't say the N word anymore. But that told me, like, why is he doing that? Like, this is his own rink. I get it. It was Granby against Saint Hyacinthe, and it was a bit of a rivalry, but to say all those things while I'm there and I'm telling him to stop, and he's like offended that I'm telling him to stop, those things were something to watch. Like my first year in Rouyn-Noranda, Valdo was probably our biggest rival, and there was a guy next to the bench. His name they called him Tex Lacar, and he had a Valdo jersey. Every time I'd come to the bench, the N word was dropped over and over, and I'm like, I can't hit him with my stick. I can't get in the stands. I can't yell. Every time I talk to him, tell him to stop. My coaching staff is like, Jules, don't worry about it. It's just words. Just let it go. Let it be. I'm like, well, like, I can't. They're like, no, just let it go. Let it be. And I'm a rookie, so I'm not gonna question the coach. I don't play as much. I'm on the bench a lot more. So it's constant. It's constant, and it's yelling and it's laughing, and it's people next to him laughing. And that was Valdor. That was my first year. And again, every time I'd go back to Valdor, he was there. So as it went on throughout the years, that didn't stop. And again, it was back when, not that the coaching staff didn't, they talked to me to make sure I was okay, but the root of the problem wasn't addressed with that particular person in the stands. And I'm sure people will look back and they'll remember that guy and they'll know what I'm talking about when they hear this. It's one of those things like, what can you do? So Valdor is probably a bad place to play initially when I played. So I played in Bathurst the year we won the cup long ago. Our backup goalie was Phil Osga, and we became friends ever since then. Like whenever, even to this day, we're still friends. He's a play agent now, and anyways, go and play in Victoriaville. So the game started. I'm playing. Sometimes I go in their end, and there's a group of kids. And the way the stands are in Victoriaville, it's you're kind of above the rink. So every time I go in that corner, you'd see a group of kids just taunting me, calling me the N word, laughing, and you could see the parents behind them just laughing as well, think it's funny, and every time it's like they're doing everything but spitting on me every time I go by their section. And as I'm skating, just face off sometimes in their end, I'm talking to Phil because me and Phil would trash talk, joking around with each other, and I'm like, get some fans you got there. He goes, Jules, I'm sorry, man. Like that's not right. I'm like, yo, that's your fans. Like, what are you gonna do? And he's like, no, no. You know what? I'm getting enough of this. I'm gonna stop this. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm gonna stop this. So the play's dead, and the referees are like, where's the goalie going? He's gone skating to the bench. So he's talking to his coach. The referee comes over. He's talking to the referee, and he's pointing at that corner. And I'm just like, I don't know what's happening. Like, so then the referee goes over to the penalty box, and next thing you hear on the intercom, "Can we please have security at um, the scorekeeper's booth?" Security comes over to point out the people, and next thing you know, those people are escorted out. And the people are like, "Ooh," they look upset. They're like, "We're just joking around." I could hear what they're saying, and I'm like, "Wow, Phil, like, thanks." It's like, "Yeah, Jules, like, I just couldn't take it anymore." And after that, the game continued on. I forget what the score was, but beside the fact that Phil did that. He didn't have to do it, and that's the first time I've ever seen anybody do something about that, and probably the only time. I'm not sure it's ever happened since or from other players, but I to this day we talk about it like it was yesterday. Like it was quite an event. And that's the thing. I mean, I finished with Halifax, and one of the biggest rivalry was Cape Breton, and we always talk back about the brawl of the warm up brawl with me and Greeno and Hunter Lash and Ryan Flynn. And as it was going on before the fight started, there was a lot of people in the stands yelling stuff, but nothing racial, and that's the part that I don't mind. I will interact with the crowd. I would get into it with them. I won't, you know, there's a lot of yelling and comments and stuff like that, but it's that part of the game I don't mind. And um, it was kind of funny, the crowd getting out, "Hey, Laraque, Laraque." But then after the brawl, we get kicked out. We're walking to the stands, and there's a lot of fans are recognizing us, and still nothing racially motivated. It's just laughing. You guys get beat up and stuff like that, and I'll take that. That's the part that I don't mind. Like, and that's the thing. That was probably the only place.